Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Summer Sandwich by Sanabas. All right, let's go over the rules carefully because there's some ambiguous stuff going on here, so we got to be careful. So in every we have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, and that hasn't changed. So in each row, each column, and each 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6, exactly once each. Now first I'm going to explain what an X-sum is and what a sandwich is, and then we'll talk about how these clues are ambiguous. So let's just talk about this 10 here. So if the 10 were an X-sum clue, then what happens is we need to look at the digit that's right next to the 10, whatever gets placed there, say a 3. That tells us how many cells are used to sum to 10. So in this case, we'd be using 3 cells, including the 3 to sum to 10. So we need 7 more. So we could do, for example, 2, 5. So 3, 2, 5 does add to 10. That satisfies that as an X-sum clue. So you take the digit next to it. That's the count. It's included in the count and the sum, and then all of those digits then sum to the clue. All right, we also have sandwich. If the 10 were a sandwich, what you do is you look at where, say, the 1 and the 6 end up. Let's put the 6 over here in the row. Wherever the 1 and the 6 end up, in between the 1 and the 6, we are going to be summing to 10. It does not include the 1 and the 6. So we could do 2, 3, 5 like that. And so if you look between the 1 and the 6, we have 2, 3, 5. That does sum to 10. That satisfies this as a sandwich clue. All right, so how do we know if it's an X-sum or a sandwich clue? Well, let's go over the ambiguity here. So the single digit clues, the 2 and the 8, are one of the clue types. They're a X-sum or sandwich clue. Now, the rules as written could imply that they're not both, but it doesn't say that. And I think it would say either or. It's either an X-sum or a sandwich clue, or it would say but not both if it couldn't satisfy both. So I think that these must satisfy at least one of those clue types. They must satisfy being a sandwich or an X-sum, or they could satisfy both. Now the double digit clues have to satisfy both. They have to be both X-sum and sandwich clues. All right, so hopefully that's clear. There is a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. All right, so the satisfying both seems difficult. So let's just think about this 10 actually, because I don't know what else to think about, the 11, but let's think about the 10 because there's 2 of them. So let's think about it as an X-sum first. What digit could go here? Well, we could put a 1 here. We can't put a 1 here. Obviously, 1 through 6 could go here, but the 10 restricts it, right? So how's the 10 restricting it? Well, 1 doesn't work because 1 just says use myself, and the clue would have to be a 1 clue. So we can't put a 1 in any of these cells because none of them are 1 clues. So 1 is out. A 2 would require these 2 to sum to 10, leaving 8 left. So this would be an 8. Unfortunately, there is no 8 in this puzzle. We're using 1 to 6. So 2 doesn't work either. 3, actually, our example 3, 2, 5 did work. So 3 is definitely possible. 4 is just possible because we can do a 1, 2, 3 triple here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 adds to 10. That would be the bare minimum that 4 can add to. 5, the minimum is 15. 1 through 5 adds to 15. So 5 is out, 6 is definitely out. So this is a 3 or a 4, and so is this. Now, I think we might have a little trouble with 3 because let's think about the sandwich. Can the sandwich be 2 cells? And the answer is no, because we need 2 digits to add to 10. And the only 2 digits that add to 10 are 4, 6, and that would repeat the 6. The 6 cannot be inside the 1, 6. Doesn't work. So we actually, and then can we use all 4 of these? Well, one answer is no, because this is a 3 or 4, but you can also say no because there's no 1. It would actually be exactly 2, 3, 4, 5 every time, which adds to 14. So we have to be exact. This is a 3, 4, and our sandwich has to be exactly here, a 1, 6 pair, in order for these to add to 10. And the only way these are adding to 10 is 2, 3, 5. So that makes this have to be a 4, and that means this definitely isn't a 6 because that would get to 10 already. So that's 1, that's 6. And then remember, 5 has to be outside of our sum. So we end up with this. Now this is exactly the same. This is going to be the 1, this is going to be the 6. This is going to be a 2, 3 pair. This is going to be a 4, and this is going to be a 5. All right, so a really nice seed to start the puzzle. Now 11 is interesting for X-sums because 4 doesn't actually work because you have to include the 4 in the sum. And so, but the only way to sum to 11 in 4 digits is 1, 2, 3, 5, which doesn't include the 4. So 4 doesn't work, which means this has to be a 3, because it's definitely not 2, it's definitely not 5. So that's 2, 3, and 2. And now these 3 add to 11. We already have 5, so this is a 6. Very nice. So now we do have to satisfy both clues, though. This is our 6. So these 3 are going to have to get us to 11 with a 1 here. And that should just work with the 4 here and the 5 here. So that does add to 11. 9 plus 2 is 11. All right, cool. This is a 1-3 pair, and this is a 5-6 pair. I think we'll do... Okay, so this 2 as a sandwich could be a 1 here with a 2 there. 2 exum actually isn't possible, right? I could have realized that earlier, but I don't think it would have helped earlier. Obviously, if I put a 1 here, it sums to 1. We already talked about that. If I put a 2 here, I have to include this in it, so the minimum is 3. So this is definitely not an exum clue, so it must be a sandwich. I'm definitely not sandwiching this way. There's already a 5 next to the 6, so we have to do 2, 1 like that. That's 3 and 1. Let's do as much Sudoku as we can. This is 4, 5, so that's the 4, that's the 5. So these are pairs up here. This is a 2, 4 pair. That's the 2, that's the 4. 2 means that has to be 6. Oh, it doesn't. Sorry, between the 1 and... okay, so yes, it does. This is an exum. I was considering whether it could be a sandwich instead. Obviously, if the 6 were here, the sandwich would be 0, so that's no good. If the 6 were here, the sandwich would be 4. That's no good. If the 6 were here, you might think, oh, make these 2 add to 8. But there's already a 4 in here, which means the other one would be a 4 as well. So our only choice is this is an exum, which puts a 6 there. This is a 3. All right, let's just do these. We need 3, 4 here, so that's the 3 and the 4. We need 1, 2, so that's the 2 and the 1. Here I need a 2, 6. So that's the 6 and 2. That's 5 and 6. This is 5. This is 3, and we're done. Cool puzzle, Sanabas. I liked the both part of it, and then just a little bit of ambiguity at the end, just to resolve the rest of the puzzle. Worked pretty well, and one of them ended up being a sandwich, and one ended up being a exum, which was neat. And they definitely weren't both, so you could have considered not both, but it really wasn't important whether they were both or not. So whether you interpreted the rules one way or another, I think your solve path would be identical. All right, cool. Well, let me know how you did. If you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.